Back to the latest on the rising tension in the Middle East and the counterattack today from Iran. Cecile Shea from the Chicago Global Council on Global Affairs is joining us. She is a non-resident fellow on security and diplomacy. Cecile, thanks so much for being with us. Let's just jump right in here. Vice President said that we are not at war. We're instead at war with Iran's nuclear program. How do you see it right now?
Well, I don't think we're at war. I think we have made a major attack against Iran. The president has made it quite clear that he wants our involvement in kinetic operations and violence to end, that he wants to get to the table with the Iranians. It sounds like the Iranians certainly don't want this to escalate. They did retaliate to show that they could, but they, of course, warned us that they were going to do it. They've done that before, by the way. That's quite typical for how the Iranians retaliate. They warn us that they're going to bomb us, and they tell us exactly where, and then no one dies, and we're able to shoot down the missiles. So, really what we need right now is we need to very quickly come to an agreement with Iran, whereby they would scale their nuclear program back to, let's say, 20 years ago. And we, in return, would lower or even do away with sanctions and encourage the international community to do the same, which would help Iran's economy, which they desperately need.
Okay, well, given what you just said about how Iran retaliated here, do you think that means that a deal is perhaps imminent? And do you think Iran has been neutralized here?
Well, so there's two questions there. So the second one is, we still don't have the full battle damage assessment for the bombing. It appears that we did damage the one very deep facility, but we don't know if we destroyed it. And we don't know if they had evacuated their somewhat enriched uranium out of there before we attacked. They may have. It sounds like they probably did, which means they still have 60% enriched uranium in another facility somewhere. But we did clearly set them back 2 years, 3 years. I mean, we don't know. But whether or not we actually destroyed it, it doesn't look like we did right now. And that's not surprising. I mean, the facility is very deep inside a mountain. To your other question, which is, does it look like we're near a negotiated settlement? One of the problems is we're dealing with two very different cultures. The U.S., along with one or two other countries in the world, we're the kind of people who just want to sit down. We know what the deal is going to be. We sign the deal and we get back on the airplane and we go home. That's true in business and it's true in politics. Iran is a lot more like most countries in the world, most cultures in the world. They want to spend a long time negotiating. They want to look like they're working hard. They want to make sure that everybody in the chain of command has buy-in. They don't have a lot of autonomy on their own to negotiate things. And so the question now is, can the U.S. be patient enough? And the flip side, can the Iranians quickly make a decision even while they're being attacked by Israel?
Cecile, let me just jump in if I could here. I don't mean to interrupt, but the president just came out and said that Israel and Iran have agreed to a complete and total ceasefire to be phased in over 24 hours. So that sort of goes along in line with what you're thinking. Give me your reaction to that immediate news.
If it holds, then that would be excellent, because one of the problems we had, of course, in the last 2 weeks was the Supreme Leader Khamenei is in hiding. He does not have cell phones or any communication equipment with him because he doesn't want the Israelis to be able to track him. So people could not get his okay to negotiate with the United States. So if there really is a ceasefire, and if the Israelis really promise not to assassinate anyone for, say, 2 weeks, then yes, the Iranians could finally, maybe come to some decision that, yes, they're going to negotiate with President Trump. I give him credit. He has offered to fly to a third country to talk to them directly. No president has ever done that before. It's an extraordinary offer. I hope they take him up on it. I hope that both sides in the ceasefire hold and show the self-restraint that is necessary right now so that we can get to the table. Most importantly, scale back Iran's nuclear programs and also help the people of Iran and their economy to grow, which ultimately would help our own economy to grow.
We shall see. You are a former diplomat. That news just came in, so we were glad to have you sort of put that into context for us. Thanks so much for being with us. Cecile Shea with the Chicago Council on Global Affairs.
Thanks, Ray.